Alex, right now the takeaway appears to be that this is being treated very much as a private event. And we saw Sheila Buck initially allowed inside that security gate as crowds are filing in towards that rally. And we know that as she entered through the gates, she was told to step to the side. And she was singled out, at which point informed that due to her T-shirt saying, "I can't breathe," she would not be allowed in the rally tonight, despite Buck telling me that she did have one of those tickets. She was then informed that even having a ticket doesn't guarantee entrance into tonight's rally.
So what you just saw there was a woman on MSNBC, her name is Sheila Buck, being kicked out of a Donald Trump rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the reason is because of the shirt she was wearing. If you look there, and as the reporter notes, she's wearing an "I Can't Breathe" t-shirt, which is a commemoration to Eric Garner and all men like Eric Garner, including George Floyd, who lost their lives at the hands of police, unjustly, unarmed men. That's what that shirt represents. And obviously, that's something that's generally in opposition to Donald Trump and Donald Trump's supporters' vision of the police and of racial equality and of American society more broadly defined. And so this is Trump's first rally since the shutdown. It's probably still unsafe to do it. It's probably not the right thing to do. There's no masks. There's no social distancing. It's probably a bad idea, but Trump's going ahead with it anyway, and he wants to pack this Tulsa, Oklahoma arena full of his most fervent, dedicated supporters. And what you're clearly seeing is that if somebody looks to be a quote-unquote opposition force, looks to be somebody that doesn't support Trump based on what they wear, they're not going to be allowed in. That's effectively censoring a presidential rally. Now, of course, they're trying to make this look like a private event, and maybe legally it is a private event. But whenever the president, whenever somebody even running for president, but especially the office holder of the president, holds a rally, it should be public. It should be open to everyone, regardless of their economic status, regardless of their background, and regardless of their political belief. And that includes wearing a shirt that happens to disagree with the particular president, or even implicitly disagrees. She's not wearing something that says Donald Trump's a bad guy. She's not wearing a shirt that says F Donald Trump. She's not wearing a shirt that says, Republicans are bad people. She's not doing that. She's wearing a shirt that's a slogan that's striving for racial justice and equality in America. That's all she's wearing. But because the organizers know that anybody that strives for racial equality and justice in America is likely oppositional to Donald Trump and those like him, she was barred entry. This is the censorship, in a sense, that Republicans have been whining about, what they've been seeing on Twitter. Oh my God, Twitter is censoring the president because they're putting corrective notes under his tweets. This is censorship. They're literally banning people from presidential events because of the clothes they wear, having a political message that makes Trumpers, the MAGA crowd, uncomfortable. That's censorship. Certainly more than anything that's actually happened to Donald Trump or Donald Trump supporters believe is censorship. Basically, he wants to create a safe space. And again, it's so ironic because you'll hear from a lot of Trump supporters, a lot of people on the right, on the far right especially, that, liberals, black people, minorities, they're just so sensitive nowadays. They just want their safe spaces. They just want to be little snowflakes, protected in their university bubbles, where nothing that disagrees with them can ever be aired or seen or heard or anything. They just want to have their views reinforced, and if you go against the status quo, you'll be rejected and you'll be silenced and you'll be censored. So there's no freedom of speech for conservatives on a university. You'll often hear this argument, which is wholly false. But here, you literally have Donald Trump creating a rally that's probably not safe to hold anyway, for thousands of his most dedicated supporters, some of whom are coming from all over the country, because again, this is the first post-shutdown rally, and they're basically screening people out who may not wear the MAGA hat and not, be dedicated cheerleaders to Donald Trump, to, in a sense, create what you might call a safe space. A space of ideological conformity, a bubble where no one disagrees with the president or anyone who likes the president. That's the safe space. That's the bubble. So this is extremely troubling. It's absolutely troubling, beyond the fact that we might say, oh, it's often ironic that the people that cry censorship and the people that decry safe spaces are the ones using censorship to create a safe space. It's very troubling that, in a sense, the law enforcement is helping to enforce a political censorship zone for the president of the United States so that he can propagandize without having anybody, even in an image, disagree with him. If you think Donald Trump and the Republicans, the MAGA crowd, actually give one solitary care about freedom of speech, ideological diversity, welcoming different points of view, having good faith debates, you're lying to yourself, especially when you see something like this. This is a man who is losing big in the polls right now. He's becoming increasingly desperate. And this is a man that, when push comes to shove, absolutely hates anyone who even looks like they're disagreeing with him. Don't doubt for a second that he won't use any tool in his arsenal, legal or otherwise, to silence opposition. You saw that today in Tulsa.